Hello, I'm Anawultus, and today I will be making a dank meme, and hopefully this won't have a problem with me putting it on DeviantArt. But what I did here is I downloaded the template of the classic Virgin and Chad meme, so I'm going to make my own version of that. So the version I'm going to make here is it's going to be Virgin Habsburg, of course, set against the Chad Liudolfing, or Ottonian, as some would say, but I'll use Liudolfing just to be extra esoteric with my historical meanings. And just a little disclaimer at the front, this does not reflect my professional historical opinions and viewpoints. This is merely hyperbole in order to make a meme comparison. In other words, it's just a meme, bro. Don't get upset over it. So, first of all, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to modify what we're looking at here so that it fits what I would consider to be a Habsburg and Liudolfing. So I'm going to be tabbing out quite a bit and looking at some images. So let me just get a nice little Habsburg on my Google, and we'll see what are some prominent Habsburgs. All right, we're already seeing guys with black caps. I'm already seeing some Habsburg chins. So I'm thinking this is going to be a Holy Roman Empire themed meme, so I'm not really going to go so much on the Spanish Habsburgs as much as on the Austrian Habsburgs, since that is what I believe is the more relevant image that I would like to convey. So I'm thinking of making perhaps a black cap and a longer chin with maybe a bit of a beard on it, or maybe not a beard. We'll see. Actually, I think this image might be a good template for what exactly I'm looking for. Let me just download this image so that I can show you exactly what I mean. Alright. So let me just get on OBS and add an image. It'll be the 8th image. I've already got 7 images that I'm currently using on OBS. A lot of them are behind the main window that you are looking at. But here we go. Let's get some fresh pictures. And there it is. Alright, so we're gonna be looking at a bit of a Charles Habsburg. If you know who that is. Charles V, this is, I guess, a younger picture of him. I've seen different pictures that are a lot more flattering to him, but this is the one that I'm going to be using since it really emphasizes what I'm looking for. So we're going to get a nice little black hat for him. We're going to maybe get a bit of a longer hair on the back, and of course, perhaps a chin on the bottom there. So a nice Habsburg chin. So I'm going to... I'm looking at this from my OBS window. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up my window so that I can look at it this way, and I've got it side by side, but you're not really seeing that so much. But well, you're sort of seeing it, because technically speaking, if you're looking at my paint window, it's on the side. And anyway, let's get right to the memes. So, skin tone, I don't think that's very important. I'll just leave it the way it is. There's really no point in doing skin tone, since both these people are generally gonna have a similar skin tone, so there's no real contrast to be made here. I don't remember seeing this shapes on my paint. Oh wait, I do actually. It's just, did it always have this symbol on it? I don't know. But anyway, let's get to quickly drawing a bit of a hat. Let's use a thin line, and this isn't going to be well drawn. This is going to be crudely drawn, and you know what? It doesn't matter. It's a meme. It's okay to draw crudely on a meme. So we're going to make a nice little hat for my virgin boy, and of course, this meme right now that I'm doing really has nothing to do with virginity whatsoever, so it's a bit of an interesting meme to make. So that's going to be the shape of his hat, and we're gonna use a smaller brush size on the eraser so that we can don't want to erase too much of his head. I can touch that up again, and we're gonna use a really dark gray, but we're still gonna keep the black lines, so it's gonna have a very slight contrast where you can tell that that's what we're looking at. So I'm gonna pick a very dark gray, so I'm just gonna go a couple hues lighter than what we've got here. Just there we go, and fill that in. Oh no, I should have thought about this. All right, we're gonna have to erase this out so that it's an even color, because apparently downloading PNGs doesn't actually give you an even color, which means filling in color is kind of hard, and that really annoys me. But I really want to get this shape down, so we're gonna actually erase this entire thing. We're gonna erase the entirety of the top of the head just to make sure everything that we're looking at is going to be the color that we want. Alright, so there we go, and gotta make sure that it's all erased surrounding here, just to make sure everything's an even shade of white, even though I can't really see it with my own eyes that there's different shades of white. That seems to be what's going on here, and that's why I'm having some problems with the drawing. Alright, so there we go. Let's make the hat again. Let's give it a bit of an up scoop at the end of it, and there we go. And I don't see any gaps in it, so we'll just go that color. Actually, since we drew it in that color, we can actually do it in black. And there we go. So that's his black hat, and he's got this hat on, and that's our first indication that this man is indeed a Habsburg. So the next one, virgin memes usually have a bit of a weaker chin, but this is actually going to be the opposite. This one's going to have a stronger chin. So let's erase that and make sure that this whole area is an even shade, and then make sure this is selected, and we're going to draw perhaps a bit of an exaggerated chin. Maybe that's a bit too exaggerated. Yeah, it is a bit too exaggerated. I don't want to make it a phallic meme. I just want to make sure that it's acknowledged what I'm looking at here. And finally, our facial feature, the last one we're really going to go for. Should I get rid of the glasses? I guess I could. I guess it would make sense to get rid of the glasses, but do I really need to? It's going to be some trouble getting rid of the glasses, but you know what? Keep the glasses. It's part of a meme format, so no real reason to change it. So let's edit the colors and go for a bit of a darker brown, and maybe a little bit more redness to it, so that we can get the hair a nice little hue. And we're going to maybe we're going to brush that, in fact. So we can actually go even darker with that then, if we're going to be brushing it. There we go. And let's use a brush. And we're going to be using... Let's try and oil brush this. Way too large. Going to use a much smaller brush. Actually, we might have to brush that way. Alright. There we go. Really brushing it on, laying it on thick. He's got that hair, goes down to his neck, and I don't see anything wrong with anyone wearing a hairstyle like that, but to be fair, it's really not what a lot of people are looking for nowadays. They like different hairstyles, people nowadays. Wow, they're so weird. People nowadays, you know one hairstyle I don't like? It's when people, they like to shave a lot of the side of the hair really short, and then they just have the actual upper part of the hair, it's relatively long, but instead of letting it down, they just sort of swoosh it up into a Jimmy Neutron swirly, and I don't approve of that hairstyle. And I'm not saying that nobody should have that hairstyle, I'm just saying that it's not the hairstyle that I like. So let's go for a bit of a lighter shade, and let's introduce that in there a bit as some art style. There we go. So how does that look fully zoomed out? That actually looks kind of nice. You know, I'm actually being a little bit nice to Monsignor Habsburg here. And let me just make sure that it's well defined that he's not actually balding. I don't want anyone to make that mistake. Alright, so now we all know he's not balding, he just has some hair. And the actual coloring of his hair here implies that this is not hair. And let's actually touch up his lips a bit reddish. So we're gonna maybe go for red, but a bit of a muted red. Maybe that's not the shade I'm looking for. Perhaps a bit of an orange, a bit of a salmon color. How about that? And we're gonna use that. There we go. And we'll just do that. There we go. So everyone knows this is a man that wears makeup in the old century, the 16th century. That's not the coolest. And for the rest of his clothing, is there anything I really want to do? I'm just gonna look at some Habsburg images. I think that painting is just an upper body portrait, so we're not really going to get much other clothing designs from that. I see a version that has more to his body, and it looks like he's wearing a bit of a black outfit, and he's got a bit of a patterned shirt underneath it, and then below that another white shirt. So I'm guessing that it's part of some full outfit. Now, I'm not the fashionista of the 16th century, so I don't really know exactly what he would have been wearing. You know, I don't know if he's wearing Gucci or Versace or all of those big fashion brands, you know, Gary Coleman, all that stuff. No, I don't know that. I don't know if this Habsburg is wearing those things. So I do find an image of Ferdinand. So anyway, I guess maybe I'll color this a dark color. We'll see. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work to fill that in. So I guess I could brush it on. That might be one way to do it. We'll see. Maybe use a different brush. What other brushes do we have? We've got this brush, and that's a bit small. Let's go for a larger brush, and that's actually kind of nice. Given a bit of a dark gray accent, and there we go. And let's do this bit. There we go. Gotta make sure the arm lines are still defined so that he doesn't look like an amorphous blob. That's not what we want here. So that's something we gotta make sure. And if it looks slightly off, that's fine. Alright, so I need a smaller brush here, maybe even smaller. We'll just fill that in a bit. Yeah, he's got some neck up here, and fill that in, and fill that in down there. And there you go. It's a bit of a darker outfit. And would that actually fill in the same color? Yeah, it would actually. So, okay, we made it a black. And I guess the next step is to make sure the edges are aligned well. But I don't really see a need for that. So anyway, I'm actually going to erase this bit right here to allow for his shirt to have some little flourishes, and maybe, I don't know, I'll leave it like that. It looks kind of weird, but you know what, it doesn't really matter. And let me see some other Habsburg images. What types of pantaloons, what types of hose would they wear? I think that's still in those days. Actually, now that I think about it, that actually means that this would extend farther down. So I'm going to make a new line. So that's going to extend down to here. Oh, I actually drew a straight line. That's pretty cool, I guess. And I need to make sure that the images that I see are accurate. Well, actually, at that time they started wearing the more poofy things. So maybe that's not accurate what I drew just there. So let's redact that a bit. Let's instead draw this and draw this and draw this. And then erase these bits. Alright, make sure it's all well erased. And these bits. Alright. And we don't need that bit. And let's then more clearly define where this goes. That goes there. And it doesn't matter if it's fully well designed. That's not what this is about. It's more about how many jokes you can make about the Habsburgs. So we're gonna then use this brush to fill in maybe this color, and we're gonna use a larger size because we can, and do it like that. And there we go, and we'll just round it out. Round it out. There we go. Just whoop. There we go. Doesn't matter if there's a couple gaps in it. That's not what's important here. What's important is the meme. Alright. We gotta get the meme. And we'll go down there. And I didn't see the lower part of his outfit, but I'm just assuming that he's wearing something like this. I'm just assuming that he is color coordinated. He may very well not be color coordinated, but I'm going to assume that he is. Alright. So now we're doing this bit. And it's actually kind of good if you use not exact art styles in order to trigger people. Saying that, oh wow, this art is actually pretty trashy. And that actually draws attention to the art. So then we're going to use some of this, and we're going to use a different type of brush. We're going to again use the oil brush, and maybe oh, that is the smallest size actually, which is kind of interesting. Gonna use that to indicate pleats in the design. There we go. 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 And actually, I'm gonna do something different here. I'm gonna truncate this here. I'm gonna block that off. And I'm gonna fill with maybe a green. Because this is just how I want to do it. Alright. Maybe a darker green, alright. Maybe not such a disgraceful hue. There we go, something a bit darker. And any shoe color ideas? I guess pointed shoes were kind of popular in those days, so I'll point his shoes a bit. But other than that, I won't really do much with the shoes. So we'll erase that a bit, erase that, and there we go. And let's go back to this and point his shoes. There we go. I know they might not be actually affiliated with the Bohemian style, but they did rule over Bohemia, so I guess it might not be that much of a far cry to say that they might actually appreciate the Bohemian style of the time. And let's do a bit of a brown on the shoes. I want to make sure that, you know, I don't know if they're wearing Yeezys or whatever those shoes are called that people wear nowadays. I'm never into the shoe culture. All right, I'm not a shoe culture man. If I were a shoe culture man, I would tell you. I would say, oh wow, look at that. It's another Yeezy. Yeezy Parcheesi. I like Yeezys and Parcheesi, a board game. But no, that's not who I am. That is not who I am. If you think that's who I am, then I must assure you that you are incorrect. Because I do not like having my statements being mistaken for a certain implication that I am not making. And because of that, I must be very clear on the implications of my statement. So I'll just leave his skin white, since there's no real point in coloring it, and it would take too long anyway. So I'll just I think that'll be the final appearance. And I do think that that is actually a kind of not exact appearance, but that's what I'll do. I'll leave it at that. All right, and now for, of course, the other side of the issue, the little things. All right, so we're gonna focus in on my Chad here, and we're gonna do some nice things there. Maybe I might do the skin after, but it's too much trouble in my opinion. So let's see. Otto the Great. I'm just doing a quick Google search for a nice reference image. Ideally something from the time period. I know there's not a lot, and the stuff that people did draw in those days certainly doesn't follow the amount of detail that I would like. So it's certainly not going to be what I'm looking for. But I'm pretty sure Wikipedia has some good images. So I'm going to look at the Wikipedia page, all right? And we'll see what we've got. We've got his monogram. I always like Otto the Great's monogram. I think it's amazing. I like the image, all right? I like his monogram. All right, so no discussion there, no hate, all right? No hate on me for liking monograms. So what I'm seeing is he's usually wearing a tunic or some kind of cloak. That seems to be the general depiction of him. And to be fair, in those days, people did wear tunics. And in fact, I see him wearing a long tunic, which is a specific style of tunic. In fact, I've got a whole book on medieval fashion, so I'm not really going to go into that though, because that's not what this is about. All right, so first thing is I'm not sure, should I preserve the bulge? Because if I do a long tunic on him, we're not gonna have a bulge. Or, well, actually, I can work with the bulge. So this is gonna be a bit difficult, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm currently looking at an image that uses a red. It's not a tunic. It's and it doesn't look like it's exactly a toga either. but well, I'll show you what I mean. So let me just save the image, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So image 8, we're gonna get rid of this Habsburg. I've had enough of looking him in the face, and instead we're gonna use this one. Now that's not actually a contemporary depiction, but it is indeed a flattering depiction that I do prefer to have. So what are we gonna do with this? So of course a crown is always something that is good here. So the crown, of course, would indeed be something that I would use here. And of course, the outfit as a whole, I'll use that as well. But I'll instead modify it into a tunic. I'll just make it a red tunic. And I'll keep the brooch, or brooch as some people call it, as it is actually a very important fashion element, as my knowledge of ancient and medieval Germanic fashion reminds me. So anyway, we're gonna do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to give him a long tunic, and the real question is, how far should it go? Should it go below the knee? That's actually where the long tunic would go, so I kind of say yes. So we're gonna try to give him a long tunic while at the same time preserving his bulge, as that is indeed an important meme element. So let me just make sure I've got the right size. There we go. And we're gonna make it a bit wavy. I'm not excellent at doing this, but then we're gonna pull it up to by his knee, and it's going to come up that way, and it's actually going to hang a bit on this side before pulling up here, and it's gonna come up that way. So we're gonna make the brooch maybe up here, so we're gonna have a lot of erasing to do. Alright, so let's get the eraser. Let's go for large size erase, and let's erase around the bulge, but make sure that it's still well present so everyone knows what's there. And then we're going to start getting rid of this stuff in here. We'll deal with that tiny bit at the end. For now, I'm just looking to clear out the non-essential elements here. So this part is irrelevant. This part, we don't need that. And we can fix that arm bit. I don't think it's going to be... I don't think I'm going to cut too much into the arm. I'm just going to put the brooch here, because that seems like... Well, that's actually the same place where it is on the image, so it makes sense to put it there. So we're going to do that, and we're going to erase here, and here, and the shoulder up here. We're gonna mess with that, so that's where we're gonna go, and we're gonna erase that bit since that's where it's going to come together, and erase part of the arm, and this bit of the arm has to go. So there we go. So we're actually going to make it a sleeveless tunic. Why? Because he's got muscular arms, and we're going to preserve that. So, just for the meme. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to go up there, and up there, while at the same time going around there, up there, going down, and here's where the brooch is going to be. We're going to do that. We're actually going to make it bigger. And we're going to, let's see, the folds sort of fold out from that. So from there we're going to get folds coming out. And here's a fold, goes there. And the folds in the fabric just sort of proceed from there. So this is going to be a bit interesting to do here, but we'll sort of begin bringing the folds in the fabric down. And we'll just pretend like he's bulging through the fabric of the cloak. Of the tunic, that is. Or, well, it is a cloak, but he's wearing a cloak like it is a tunic. It's going to be very confusing to actual people who are privy to the fashion. But we're just gonna merge that in there and say that that comes through there. And we're gonna bring that down there, and that comes through there. It actually comes through here, and it all proceeds out like that, and like that, and it's just all going to come together here. Yeah. And there we go. And what else are we gonna do here? Well, we're gonna color it red. So we'll see how that works. So it seems to be working quite well. There's only a couple of places where it's not really coloring as I would like, and those bits can be fixed relatively easily. So now we're gonna move into, actually here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and that, and that's actually a little trick I learned in Paint. You could do that, and we're just gonna make sure that the color exists everywhere it should be. I don't want too many white spots near his bulge, because that might have some implications that I don't really want to make. So we're gonna pretend like that is not what we want right now. Well, I'm not saying that, I'm pretending that that's not what I want. That's actually not what I want right now. So, that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and we're gonna just do that, and we can fix that in just a moment once we've got pencil back out. We can fix all that. All of that. Alright. And we haven't even gotten to the punchlines of a meme. Right now, it's just making sure that the style has the consistency we want it to have. And let's just make sure that's back to white. And here we go. Just, oh, gotta make sure I lower down the bar here. There we go. Fix that up. Fix that up. Fix it all. And there we go. And maybe I'll give him some sleeves, some short sleeve shirt. We'll do that, and we'll give him a short sleeve shirt. And we'll use the brush for that, and we'll use a blue, maybe this blue but muted a bit. There we go. Okay, use that, and the brush, and not that size. Want it a bit larger. And there we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I want to see. Nice meme, nice smooth meme here. Alright, so his meme is progressing smoothly, and the shoes we'll just color them dark. Because, why not? There's no real point not to color him dark. So I'll just color his shoes dark, and we'll have the meme, and it'll be born as such. So there we go, and here we go. A nice dark shoe. And if you don't approve of shoes being a dark color, all right, let me just say, all of the shoes I wear are dark color. So if you criticize the color of those shoes, you're criticizing the color of my shoes, and I do not appreciate such disrespect. All right, what are you, a doctor or something? You can't just disrespect me like that. That's not cool. Not cool, man. So maybe I'll draw a little bit of a globus crucifer in one hand and a scepter in the other. I think that might be something nice. But first, we're gonna be building a crown on this head. So we're gonna start by erasing the top of the skull, because that's where the crown's gonna go, and I don't want any interference. So let me just make sure that the erasure is, there we go. And next we're going to be drawing the shape of it. So let's go there, and then we're just going to follow the guideline of the image. And we'll do that there. It's not going to be perfect, but you know what? That's not how the meme has to be. It's not a meme about perfection. It's a meme about the actual punchline. That's the point of a meme. So here we go. And now we need a golden color. And is that color golden enough? I don't know, but we're gonna see. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna use that. It's... Oop, didn't want to color that bit gold. Want to make sure everyone knows that his brooch is gold as well. And we'll leave it at that. And we'll just leave the skin color the way it is. And he's got a very clear male bulge. I didn't want to understate that, so I left that in. So I think that we're largely done here. So I'm still going to do a scepter and a globus crucifer, as some might call it. So that's going to be a bit difficult to do, but globus crucis something is what it's called. But anyway, that's actually going to be kind of hard. So we're going to need a shape. No, we're not going to need a shape. Come on, what is this? Some sort of I mean, how would that look? I'm just thinking, how would it look to have that? I want it to be behind his fingers, though. So yeah, going behind his fingers is probably the better choice here. So we're gonna get rid of that, and we've got a lot of erasing to do. So I'm going to use a pencil, put it on white, and we're gonna really zoom in on there. There, make sure the hand is in full view. So first of all, we're gonna select this area above the hand and make sure that that's empty. There we go. Delete that. Let's undo that. Delete that. So that's a quick and fast way to make sure certain areas are empty. But now I need to make sure that the area closer in is empty. So I'm actually going to use the eraser tool on a small setting, and I'm going to use that to clear this bit out, to clear this bit out, and we're going to have to maybe use a bit of a brush as well later on, but for now that's going to work. So now here comes the difficult part, drawing a circle without a circle tool. It's gonna be hard, but actually let's go smaller size here. But we'll do it. That's fine. And we're gonna draw a little cross on here. You know, it's the style of the time. Crosses in Bavaria. No, that's a different issue. Not gonna really discuss that one. Not here anyway. The classic meme about crosses now being in public buildings in Bavaria because of the idea that it has to do with the Bavarian cultural identity. However, a lot of people don't like that, so now it's going to be a big issue. Oh boy. So anyway, go back onto the gold and just fill in all of this. It's all gold. It's all money. Alright, so now we'll use a bit of a pencil to fill in here. And we'll see how that works. Pencil there. Pencil there. Boop. A little pencil there. And just making sure that it looks a bit nice. I don't want it to look trashy, alright? I'm not a trashy guy, so I don't want my images to look completely trashy. I know I'm just doing it for the meme, and I think it's nice that there is a meme, but I don't think that I still have standards as an artist, alright? I'm still an artist, even though I'm not a widely well-known artist. I'm an artist nonetheless. Alright, so that got rid of all the white spots in there. So let's see what that looks like in general. Looks kind of crude, but you know what? It's a meme. It doesn't matter. So now the scepter. This is gonna be interesting. This is also gonna be behind his hand. So we're gonna do this trick again here. Delete that bit and delete that and delete that. And if it's gonna be long, we're just gonna do this for good measure there, as well as up here just in case. And now we're gonna zoom in. So the scepter, the way it looks here is interesting. I think I'm just gonna follow this design. I know I've seen different designs for it, but I'll just use this one because why not? Alright, so we're gonna go black here, and that's gonna go there, and we'll just cap it off at the bottom. And it's gonna come out on top. And it's actually, by the looks of it, it looks more like he's holding a bit of a sword, the way it's shaped, which is interesting, in my opinion. So anyway, we'll have it terminate into a bit of a bar here. And make sure that's open, and then it's got a loop on it, and the loop's got a little loop inside of it, and then it's got another bar, and then it's got a fleur-de-lis, which is a bit French, maybe, but you know what, I'll leave it. I'll just keep it. But there we go. So now, let us color that in. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure it's gold. I know it might not be gold, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Not here. Alright. So I'm already seeing we're gonna have some more little hand issues, and that's fine. We'll just use a nice little pencil again. Pencil that in there. In there, in there, in there. Go in there a bit. And up here. In there, and there, and there. And yeah, there we go. That looks nice. And at the bottom. So what does he look like now? Well, he really looks like he's ready to govern. So what I need to do now is, I think it might be better to have some more space at the top, because they're both wearing hats, so that kind of makes it a bit harder for the meme. So now that I've actually drawn them, I don't think that there's any necessity to add anything else. So I'm actually going to put paint back into full screen here, and get rid of image 8 on that. Yeah, there we go. So Paint's back in full screen, and we're going to make the image larger. Let's go 500 pixels so that we can... Should I put a subscript or should I just move everything down? I think moving everything down and putting a superscript is probably the best idea here. So we grab it and move it down, but still leave some space in case I want to add some words at the bottom. And there we go. Whew. So, how do I want to do this? So, of course, there's the Ottonian dynasty, but I, of course, said that I'd prefer Liudolfing. Or Liudolfinger is maybe the best one. So we're gonna use that, perhaps. Alright, so I'm back. I spent some time adding the text. I didn't really think I would need to do it that progressively. I thought it would be better to just do it this way and then explain it afterwards, after everyone sees it. Now, of course, not everyone will be able to fully see everything here, because the chin, if I zoom out, the chin is not rendered as well, the Habsburg chin. So I'm going to, well, I'm just going to zoom in on Paint. Alright, so here we go, and so here's the text. The Virgin Habsburger versus the Chad Liudolfinger. So I decided that I like the format of the meme in especially a direct contrast between the two, and therefore every single point here has its counterpart on the other side. So I'm going to be looking at it that way. So dresses like a French courtier, actually wears a crown and exudes a royal aura. Excessive underbite and deformed chin, perfect proportions, needs a coalition to beat France, almost vassalized France and Poland without having any external allies, almost lost to the Turks, defeated the Magyars and saved Europe, went extinct from inbreeding, had to sacrifice patrilineality to continue to exist, genetically diverse marriages for maximum viability. There's nothing Roman about this guy. Works to restore the culture and power of the Roman Empire. And let's go on the other side. Lost ground to Islam, expanded Christendom, cucks down to the Pope, vassalized the Pope, tried to stop the Reformation, failed miserably, caused the Great Schism, doesn't care. Ruled for half a millennium, all his achievements were undone. Ruled for only a century, but is still praised by historians as a golden age. Got kicked out from Swabian homeland for being a disgrace. Is the pride of his Saxon homeland. Mentally disabled from inbreeding, genius level IQ, is entirely responsible for his own failure, only lost power due to death by natural causes, destabilized and eventually lost the empire, essentially refounded the empire. So I'm going to add a period here. So of course, you may notice that another thing I decided to add here is that I'm using two different fonts. Now, the reason I do this is to emphasize a difference. For example, Century Gothic and Comic Sans MS are very different fonts. People don't take Comic Sans as seriously as Century Gothic. Let me just go a size 10 here. I need to add a period, otherwise people are going to get really mad at me. There we go. And I think every other statement has a period. So that also helps distinguish between the statements, making sure it's not a run-on. So anyway, additionally to that, the font distinguishes which side the statement is referring to, because especially in some of the less crowded ones, the middle area can get a bit confusing if the statements are more toward one side than the other. So that's why I decided to do it this way. And I think this one is actually a relatively full wall of texty looking meme, but I decided to put in as many references as possible. So we'll see how people look at this and what types of responses I will receive. So anyway, I think that it is time to stop here and actually go on to looking at posting this in various places. So I'll return to you then. Alright, here we are on DeviantArt. I already posted on to Reddit at r/Virgin vs. Chad. So now I'm on DeviantArt. And why DeviantArt, you may ask? Well, because I've got a DeviantArt account. Check it out. It's the Anawultus, as is the name. So I'm going to add a description here. This memetic variation, alright, I'm not going to call it a meme because this is a very serious artistic website. Using the word meme is maybe not what I'm looking for. So this memetic variation reflects a hyperbolized... Okay, how do they want me to spell hyperbolized? Hyperbolic. No, that's not what I mean. Hyperbolized. Because it is hyperbolic, but it is made hyperbolic, therefore it is hyperbolized. As a linguist, that is my opinion. Therefore, I can also use the word memetic, which the dictionary apparently doesn't know about, but it is a real word. This memetic variation reflects a hyperbolized contrast between the historiographical, alright, perception of two historic dynasties. And of course, gonna enter phrase kick. Why? Because that's the call sign, you know? You gotta put a little bit of kick on there. Okay, so we've got a meme, and let's see, is there a version versus Chad? No, there's not a version versus Chad tag. Oh, but there is now. Virgin versus Chad. History. Historical. Satire. And of course, historical fashion. And Germany, and Holy Roman Empire, of course, and Roman Empire as well. Because I'm going to be honest here, all right? All of you historiographers out there that refer to this as the Holy Roman Empire, you are incorrect. The claim of it being holy was not very common until the time of the Hohenstaufen, which occurred after the Liudolfingers, all right? So if any of you out there say that that's the HRE, you're technically incorrect. All right, and we'll also add in a what else? Royalty. There we go. Just some nice tags to help people find what we're looking for here, and what should I put it under? It's not going to be anime and manga. No, it's not going to be anthro. Okay, that's not what this is. It's not photography, literature, flash, film, animation, fan art, digital art. That's always drawings and paintings. Abstract. Political? I guess it's political. Now that I think about it, it is political. Although it is more about history, but you know what? I'll put it as a political. There you go. Yeah, representing current or historical events in the political arena and depicts political figures. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, alright. Allowed comments, and I guess everything is safe. So let us submit. And what do we have? Virgin Habsburger versus Chad Liudolfinger. And there you go. There it is. That's what we've got. And if you don't like it, well, what's your problem then? So there we go. I think that's all I've got to say. So if you'd like to contact me, you can always contact me on Reddit or in my YouTube comment section. Either one of those work relatively well. Or you can also hit me up on Discord as well. So thank you all for watching, and I will be seeing you all next time on Awiltus over and out.